Hello class 5, hope you all are doing well. So let's start our online science class, and we already completed all the chapters for our first term examination, and the revision classes we started too. In our first term examination there are total 6 chapters. Chapter 1, plant reproduction. Chapter 2, habitats of animals. Chapter 4, skeletal and nervous system. Chapter 8, air and water. Chapter 10, our universe. And chapter 12, pollution. And in my previous classes we already revised the chapter 1, plant reproduction. So today we will revise the chapter 2, habitats of animals. So we already learned that habitats actually is a special place where a plant or animal lives. And you know that different animals live in different places. Like us, that means like human beings, animals also need food, air, water and shelter where they can live, and they can live themselves and with their young ones safely. This is a very important part, that to live safely we need a particular habitat. Some animals need a large area, like a lion. A lion lives in forest. Lion, tiger, big animals like elephants, all live in forests. And these animals need all these animals, large animals, need large areas. But some need small area, like a rabbit. A rabbit need a small area. Because of that, a rabbit is a small animal. Different animals need different habitats. For example, a fish needs clean water to live. A grasshopper needs a big space where it can hop and gets leaves to eat. Grasshoppers always eat leaves, so that they need plants where more plants exist. So these grasshoppers always need big space to hop and get leaf to it. There are different types of habitats on earth, such as forests. This is a particular type of habitat, forest, where there are so many plants. And deserts, this is also a particular type of habitat, where there are scanty of water and there are a very small amount of plants. The plants are cacti type. And mountains also a different type of habitat, where the temperature is lower than plains and plateaus. Polar regions, where the temperature is almost minus temperature, they are so cold. Oceans and fresh water, these also are marine habitats, actually water habitats, oceans and freshwater. So these are all different types of habitats. Terrestrial animals and their habitats. Animals that live on land are called as terrestrial animals, such as lion, bear, giraffe, elephant, etc. So the land animals are called as terrestrial animals. Always remember that. The 4 different types of habitats of terrestrial animals are forests. Firstly, forests actually home of 80% of terrestrial animals. Maximum of land animals lives in forest. Animals like lion, tiger, bear, this type of animals live in caves. And some animals like monkey, bird, they live on trees. And some other animals make underground burrows in the forest floor and live there. Such animals are rabbit, snake, earthworm, rat, etc. Now the desert habitat. It is hard to find water in desert, as I told you before that there is scanty of rainfall and there are very less amount of water we can find there. So that the desert area is very dry, sandy. There are so much sand dunes. If you visit a desert area, you can see there are sand dunes, mainly some cacti type plants and scanty of water. So desert areas are dry, sandy and receives very little rainfall. It is usually very hot during the day and cold during the night, just opposite type of temperature. During the day it is very hot and during the night it is cold enough. Animals like camels live in deserts. They evolved to survive that harsh and scarce water conditions. Now, the mountain habitat. Actually, that the temperature on the mountain tops is very low. As we know that as we the altitude become high, then the temperature always decreases. So, as the mountain is very high altitude, so on the top of the mountain, the temperature is very low there. So, it is a cold habitat. You can say that mountain is a cold habitat. On mountains, the oxygen is also scarce. As the altitude become higher, actually the air is also thinner and there is oxygen limit is also scarce for that. And the sun ray is very harsh. And on the highest peaks, the environment does not support life. So, animals like black bear, mule, deer, bighorn sheep, raccoon live in the lower part of the mountain. These all animals live in the lower part of the mountain. Because of that, the environment on the higher altitude is not support life. Now about the polar regions. Life in the polar regions of Arctic and Antarctica is extremely difficult. Strong and cold winds blow there and the temperature is very low. So, here the animals like penguin, seal and walrus, you can see here in this picture, there are polar animals like penguin and walruses are there. And they all, this type of animals are able to survive in such extreme type of climate. Extreme type of cold climatic conditions actually. The thick fur on these animals like polar bears also provides adequate warmth to their bodies. And an important fact you learn that penguins and walrus have layers of fat under their skin. These layers of fat are called as blubber. The blubber helps them to keep warm by storing energy. This is the way how they survive in extreme cold type of climate. Now about aquatic animals and their habitats. The animals that live in water for most of the time of their life are called as aquatic animals. The animals which live in water are called as aquatic animals. The two different types of aquatic habitats now we will know about. Ocean first. You know, there are 5 oceans on our Earth's crust. Those are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean and Antarctic Ocean. Or we can say it as Southern Ocean, Antarctic Ocean or Southern Ocean. These oceans cover the 2/3 parts of the Earth's surface. The water of ocean is salty, you know, and whale, octopus, jellyfish, these are some animals that are found here in the oceans, under the oceans. Okay? Now the freshwater habitat. Freshwater habitats are water of rivers, lakes, ponds and ditches. And some animals like duck, goose, fish, crabs and turtle are found here. Some animals like frog, alligator and crocodile live both on land and in freshwater habitats. In both type of habitats they can live. These animals are called as amphibians. The animals who can live both in land and water are called as amphibians. Now, what is hibernation? You know that what is hibernation? Some animals go into deep sleep to save themselves from severe winters and survive without eating much. This state of animals is called as hibernation. Animals like bear, lizard, crocodile, etc. eat more food than usual during the autumn season and store it as fat to use during winters when they go into hibernation, they go into deep sleep. During this period, during the hibernation actually, their body temperature drops and the rate of breathing slows down. Now, what is migration? Some animals and birds move to far off places to stay away from the harsh weather condition. As in harsh weather condition, you know, the food becomes scarce and the climate is not fit to live, so that some animals move to far off places for their breeding and to live safely. This movement of birds and animals are called as migration. The African elephant is the largest land animal. It migrates to find food during the wet and dry season. And you know, India is home for many migratory birds. It is estimated that every year over 100 species of migratory birds fly to India. Some of the birds which fly to India are flamingos. You know, it looks very beautiful, flamingos, cranes, common teal, etc.